Paris is such a beautiful place. Right from the moment you go through the Charles de Gaulle International Airport to driving through the city, which brings out our best splendor much more at night. Let me share a little bit of my Paris experience with you. Paris is filled with too many historical monuments, and this sometimes makes it almost difficult to know which or where to visit. For me, I will share with you 4 aspects of this trip that blew my mind away. The very first and most important aspect of this trip is that I surprised this treasured gift of God in my life with this trip to Paris, to appreciate her for being a gift with a lift to my life, for making life and ministry easy for me. I'm talking about no other but my treasured wife, Titi Lola, fondly known as Doc Lowe's. I love and cherish you, Aduni, and loving you is more than just a dream come true for me. Thank you so much for loving me, my 25-8.
What's up? Is this how you tour Paris? Talk to me. This is it.
Now let's get to some other aspects, since we have known the most important aspect. Our very first visit on the very first night of arrival in Paris, after dropping off at the hotel, was the visit to the Eiffel Tower, located on the Champ de Mars in Paris. It's named after the engineer Gustave Eiffel, whose company designed and built the tower. The tower is 1,083 feet tall, which is about the same height as an 82-story building. This is the tallest structure in Paris and the most visited monument with an entrance fee in the entire world. This was the first structure in the world to surpass both the 200-meter and 300-meter mark in height. The tower has 3 levels for visitors, which are restaurants on the first and second levels, and the top level's upper platform, which is 906 feet above the ground, is the observation deck. What an edifice! And just as you know, because of the royal blood in me, the very next aspect and place is our visit to the Palace of Versailles in France. Oh my goodness, I have been to many places in my life, but nowhere have I ever gone to that took my breath away until I got to the Palace of Versailles in France. What caught my breath mostly about this palace, that has gone from the seat of power to a museum of history of France, is not because it's one of the most visited locations from different people from across the world, but the fact that this place was built by human beings, and even at such a time that there wasn't any much technology. This heightened the knowledge and awareness of the creative power that my Creator has invested in me as a living being, that nothing is impossible only if you believe. What welcomes you first to this location are the golden gates and golden roofs of the palace, which shines intensely bright at the reflection of the sun. The Palace of Versailles was inaugurated as a museum in 1837. Today, the palace contains 2,300 rooms spread over 63,154 square meters. This palace is so big, it will take at least 2 days to fully tour the entire monument. I looked at the walls, looked at the roofs, and I looked at the gardens, and I could only just wonder and marvel at this masterpiece architectural structure. The Palace of Versailles is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the entire world. This is Europe's largest chateau. Another marveling aspect of our trip to Paris was visiting the Louvre Museum, which was founded on August 10, 1793. The Louvre Museum is the world's largest art museum and the most visited, but this wasn't what blew my mind on this tour about this museum. You are welcome to this location by the Louvre Pyramids, which is a large glass and metal structure in the main courtyard surrounded by 3 smaller pyramids. The large pyramid serves as the main entrance to the Louvre Museum. Just to let you know, the Louvre Museum is just a part of the Louvre Palace. What actually makes me marvel about this entire museum is a little piece of artwork hanging on the wall, which I will call the main highlight of many people's visit from far distance to see at this museum. This art piece is by Da Vinci, called Mona Lisa. If you see the queue to even get to the location of this painting and the joy on the faces of the people, young and old, getting to that spot, it makes me marvel at how the creation of a man in the 1500s will still be attracting so much attention many years long after his death. This is actually what marvels me about the Louvre Museum. The last aspect on this trip is the Basilica, the Sacred Heart of Montmartre, or Montmartre, permit me if I'm not pronouncing it well, which is about 135 years old and still holding Catholic services till date. Even while we were present, many were having prayers. The apogee of this location for me is the dome at the very peak of the cathedral, which we climbed 292 steps up to get to this peak, which overlooks the entire city of Paris and its suburbs. Oh, what a masterpiece. At the top of the hill of Montmartre is the Basilica of the Sacred Heart. In the 3rd century, the first Christians of Paris were martyred on this hill. Saint Denis, first bishop of Paris, Saint Rustic, a priest, Saint Eleutherius, a deacon, and their companions. The place of the martyrdom is the Martyrium on this very hill, and this makes this particular location very special for me, in the sense that there are a people who lost their lives for the sake of the gospel of Christ, and today we just must talk about them. Thank God for people who lay down their lives to make such foundation. And this is why the Basilica of Sacred Heart of Montmartre is so special for me to visit. I honestly will say that this Paris trip will linger on in my memory for life. Thank you, Paris, for your breathtaking, beautiful spots and monuments. I love Paris, and I definitely know we will be back again sometime soon. Thank you also for watching and experiencing this journey with me. I am Prophet Jazzy. God bless you.